signed the instrument of accession on the 26th of October. At daybreak on the 27th morning, a detachment of the 1st Sikh Regiment was flown to Srinagar. When the troops landed, the invaders were within a day's march from Srinagar. Timely action saved the city, and the invaders were pushed beyond Baramulla.
Our army is having to fight in conditions of extreme difficulty, both of terrain and lines of communication. Our soldiers, the officers and men, are in high spirit and eager to justify themselves.
Soon it became evident that the so-called tribal invasion was in fact a full-scale Pakistani military operation. Mountbatten advised the government to seek the assistance of the United Nations, but Nehru and Patel rejected the suggestion. However, when the fighting continued to cost lives and an enormous drain on the resources, the Indian cabinet decided on taking the issue to the United Nations. India requested the Security Council to call upon Pakistan to refrain from helping and encouraging the raiders. When India's complaint came up for discussion, the British delegate completely turned the table on India. He equated the complainant India with the aggressor Pakistan as equal claimants to Kashmir, forgetting that the instrument of accession was binding as a legal document. As a result of Pakistan's perfidy in Kashmir, there was fresh exodus of Hindus and Sikhs from West Pakistan. By the end of December 1947, more than 450,000 refugees had converged on Delhi. Widespread riots broke out. Gandhiji lamented, "We are steadily losing hold on Delhi. If it goes, India goes, and with it, the last hope of world peace." When violence continued unabated, on the 12th of January, Gandhiji started his fast unto death. The people demonstrated their love for the Mahatma and filed past his room.
I was upset by the events in Delhi, as well as Gandhiji's fast, and for a day or two I did not eat any food. It was not a regular fast.
When Gandhiji came to know of it, he wrote, "My dear Jawahar, give up your fast. May you live long and continue to be the jewel of India." By the 5th day of the fast, the Mahatma's life hung in the balance. There were hurried consultations, and leaders of various communities signed a pledge to maintain peace. The Mahatma broke his fast, and the nation heaved a sigh of relief. On the 30th of January, Mahatma Gandhi had a meeting with Nehru and Patel. At 5 minutes past 5, he hurried to his evening prayer meeting. As he entered the ground, a man stepped forward and fired 3 shots at the Mahatma. The apostle of peace fell victim to a mindless violence. The grief of humanity was best expressed by Jawaharlal Nehru.
The light has gone out of our lives, and there is darkness everywhere. And I do not quite know what to tell you and how to say it. Our beloved leader, Bapu as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more. Perhaps I am wrong to say that. Nevertheless, we will not see him again as we have seen him for these many years. We will not run to him for advice and seek solace from him. And that is a terrible blow, not to me only, but to millions and millions in this country.
Gandhiji's death was a great national tragedy. But for Jawaharlal, something very precious had gone out of his life. But there was no time for grieving. There was work to be done, a subcontinent to be administered. The highest priority was given to the restoration of law and order, to re-establish the people's faith in the government.
We have in the last few days begun to devote increasing attention to the problem of rehabilitation. Any further delay in tackling it is likely to lead to disastrous consequences.
Vast tracts of land were reclaimed to resettle farmers from West Punjab. New townships and colonies were built. Students were admitted to schools and colleges without insisting on transfer certificates. In June 1948, C. Rajagopalachari replaced Lord Louis Mountbatten as the Governor-General of India. The Hyderabad issue became critical because of the rising power of the fanatical Razakars. They were terrorizing the Hindu majority population of the state and importing arms from Pakistan through Goa. Jawaharlal Nehru declared,
Hyderabad cannot remain as it is, a feudal island in a democratic India.
The further deterioration of law and order posed a threat to India's security. Police action was taken to save life and property. The Nizam signed the instrument of accession on the 17th of September 1948. The Nehru cabinet had been functioning as a well-knit team, but vicious elements started spreading malignant rumors. An agitated Nehru wrote,
It has distressed me beyond measure to read in papers and otherwise of whisperings about vital differences between Sardar Patel and myself. But India at least should know that we have cooperated together for a quarter of a century or more in great undertakings. It has been my privilege to have been associated with him for these many years, and my affection for him and appreciation of his great qualities has grown with the passing of time. It is incumbent upon all of us to subordinate our little selves and work together for the country's good.
At the Jaipur Congress, communal and anti-national forces were warned.
हिंदुस्तान ने, भारत ने बड़े ऊंचे जमाने देखे, दुनिया जानती है। ये भी दुनिया जानती है कि भारत ने नीचे जमाने देखे, दोनों बार। क्यों गिरा भारत? मैं आपसे कहता हूँ, दावे से कहता हूँ, मैं भी कुछ भारत का इतिहास जानता हूँ, किसी तंग ख्याली ने, जिसका नमूना इस वक्त आरएसएस है, उसने हिंदुस्तान को पुराने जमाने में गिराया और फिर गिराया। इसलिए इस बात में कोई धोखा नहीं होना चाहिए, इस मामले में कोई धोखा नहीं, कोई नरमी नहीं, कोई गुंजाइश नहीं कि इसका मुकाबला करना इस तंग ख्याली का, चाहे आरएसएस हो, चाहे कोई कौम हो, हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख।
कि पहली चीज हमारी मुल्क की स्टेबिलिटी, स्थिरता, उसमें कोई अशांति नहीं होनी चाहिए। चाहे राजा महाराजा हो, चाहे चोर डाकू हो, गुंडा हो, या कोई कितना भी दुखी हो, इन दुखियों को भी वो अधिकार नहीं है कि सारे मुल्क को दुख में खतरे में डाल।
अगर हम इस देश को बनाने जाते हैं तो हमारे पास पैसा काफी है। अगर हम देश इसको बर्बाद करने चाहते हैं तो हम लोगों के पास बेवकूफी भी काफी है।
Jawaharlal Nehru was convinced that communication and mutual consultations were vital for the success of democracy. Periodical conferences of governors and chief ministers were held to discuss problems of different provinces. Jawaharlal Nehru also started the unique institution of fortnightly letters to the chief ministers, then known as premiers.
To keep in touch with important developments in your province and also to keep you informed, not only of important developments at the center, but also of events in other provinces which have repercussions over the rest of the country.
These letters cut across party lines. They analyze the national and international situation and explain the country's plans and projects. The majority of the Indian people depended on agriculture for their livelihood. Land reforms and the abolition of the zamindari system could alone improve the lot of the peasantry.
May I remind you that this highly important question should be considered in consultation with the central government and not in isolation. Any policy should have uniformity all over India.
The Kashmir question lingered on because of the partisan stand taken by Britain and the USA.
We have recently had some gains in the Ladakh Valley, and on the route to Leh over the Zojila Pass, we captured Dras.
By the end of 1948, Pakistan admitted that its army was fighting in Kashmir. The Security Council passed a ceasefire resolution which stipulated that 1. Pakistan withdraw all its forces from the territories of Jammu and Kashmir. 2. All the territories occupied by Pakistan to revert to the state for administration and to India for defense. The ceasefire became effective from the midnight of January 1st and 2nd, 1949. An important step towards development was taken with the setting up of the Damodar Valley Corporation on the lines of the Tennessee Valley Authority in the United States. The Damodar River in Bihar and its tributaries to be tamed for flood control, irrigation, and the generation of power. The foundation was laid for a dam across the Mahanadi River in Orissa.
As I threw some concrete, which was to form the base of the great Hirakud Dam, a sense of adventure seized me. The great dam and all that follows from it will endure for ages to come.
India started manufacturing railway engines and coaches. The ancient maritime traditions were revived.
I launched a new India-made ship of 8,000 tons. This was a historic occasion, and I am sure that the shipbuilding industry in India will develop rapidly.
At the end of the war, when the Japanese forces withdrew from the Dutch East Indies, the Indonesian Nationalist Party established an independent republic. The Dutch government tried to regain its lost empire by launching military operations against the new republic. New Delhi convened a conference of the countries bordering on the Indian Ocean to discuss the issue. Nehru announced,
"We meet today because the freedom of a sister country has been imperiled, and the imperialism of the past has raised its head again."
The Delhi conference recommended to the Security Council an 8-point plan for the withdrawal of Dutch forces and the transfer of power to the Indonesian government. After the war, the world had been divided into two military blocs, separated by what Churchill called the Iron Curtain. India decided to stay away from the military alliances in order to help reduce world tension. He told the BBC correspondent,
War facing the Commonwealth.
Thinking of war
Yes.
and preparing for war. So if one wants peace, one must think of peace and prepare for peace instead of thinking constantly of war and preparing for it.
In April 1949, Jawaharlal attended the Commonwealth Prime Minister's Conference in London, when India was planning to become a sovereign, democratic republic. He felt that membership of the Commonwealth would give India a psychological advantage and economic benefit. The conference agreed that after becoming a republic, India could remain a member of the Commonwealth, with the king as a symbolic head of the Commonwealth. Nehru placed the decision before the Constituent Assembly for ratification.
Does a nation lose its independence by an alliance with another country? Alliances normally mean mutual commitments. The free association of sovereign Commonwealth nations does not involve such commitments. Its very strength lies in its flexibility and its complete freedom. It is well known that it is open to any member nation to go out of the Commonwealth if it so chooses. It must be remembered that the Commonwealth is not a super state in any sense of the term.
He visited the United States of America at the invitation of President Truman. For the American public, here was a new type of Asian, cultured, self-confident, and a highly popular representative of a newly independent but ancient civilization. India had accepted American expertise for development of her economy, but did not want to join any military alliances. Receiving an honorary degree from General Eisenhower, president of Columbia University, he said,
I am happy to present you, sir, with the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, in this university, together with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. I congratulate you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I am asked frequently why India does not align herself with a particular nation or a group of nations, and told that because we have refrained from doing so, we are sitting on the fence. I should like to make it clear that the policy India has sought to pursue is not a negative policy and nor a neutral policy. It is a positive and a vital policy which flows from our struggle for freedom and from the teaching of Mahatma Gandhi. The colossal expenditure of energy and resources on armaments, that is an outstanding feature of many national budgets today, does not solve the problem of world peace. Perhaps even a fraction of that outlay in other ways and for other purposes will provide a more enduring basis for peace and happiness. That is India's view, offered in all friendliness to all thinking men and women, to all persons of goodwill, in the name of our common humanity.
Back in New Delhi, the Constituent Assembly was giving the final touches to the 395 articles and 9 schedules of the Constitution of India. The unique features of the Constitution being the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policy. The document was finally completed and signed by members on the 24th of January, 1950. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was unanimously elected the President of the Indian Republic.
We welcome you, sir, as our leader, as the head of the Republic of India, and as a comrade who has faced without flinching all the crises and troubles that have confronted this country during the past generation. May I, sir, pledge my loyalty and fealty to this republic of which you will be the honored head.
I endorse every word that has fallen from the lips of the Honorable Prime Minister, and I beg to congratulate you on the great honor that has been conferred on you.
At the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Governor General C. Rajagopalachari made an announcement and relinquished the office in favor of the first President of India.
India, that is Bharat, shall be a sovereign, democratic republic, and the Union and its component parts, the state, shall exercise all powers and functions of government and administration in accordance with the provisions of the said Constitution.
Rajendra Prasad invited Jawaharlal Nehru to head the new government. Sardar Patel was the Deputy Prime Minister. The Republic of India was born exactly 20 years after the pledge taken on the 26th of January 1930, following the Lahore Congress resolution on Purna Swaraj. Communal violence erupted again in East Pakistan on a massive scale, leading to an exodus of Hindus to West Bengal. Riots broke out.
What has occurred in East Bengal, with its repercussions in Calcutta, is serious enough. So long as I am the Prime Minister, I shall not allow communalism to shape our policy, nor am I prepared to tolerate barbarous and uncivilized behavior.
He suggested to the Prime Minister of Pakistan that the two of them should tour the affected districts of East Bengal to help restore peace, and offered a no-war pact. Pakistan rejected the proposals. Nehru suggested a peaceful solution and wrote to Pakistan,
If the methods suggested are not agreed to, it may be that we shall have to adopt other methods.
It had the desired effect. Liaquat Ali Khan came to Delhi. After week-long talks, the Nehru-Liaquat Ali Accord was signed. Both the governments agreed to ensure complete equality of citizenship to minorities in their respective countries and extend all facilities to migrants. In June 1950, At the invitation of President Sukarno, Jawaharlal Nehru left on a state visit to Indonesia on board the INS Delhi. He was accompanied by his daughter and grandchildren.
This gave me an opportunity of meeting hundreds of our naval boys. They were a fine lot of young men, drawn from all parts of the country, efficient, cooperative, and cheerful. Mixing with them for a few days gave me new confidence in the youth of my country.
He received a heart-warming reception.
I was received in Indonesia with friendliness, which made me feel completely at home. In the distant past of India, there were innumerable contacts with the people of Southeast Asia. Among them, the closest to us were the people of Indonesia.
The famous temple at Borobudur was built in the 8th and 9th century by rulers of the dynasty founded by King Shailendra from South India.
If we have to see and admire some of the finest examples of Indian architecture, we have to go to Java. At Borobudur, the whole life story of the Buddha is carved in stone.
Jawaharlal Nehru was essentially a modern statesman, objective, scientific, and impatient for progress. He started the convention of the Prime Minister attending the annual conference of the Indian Science Congress to understand how science can help bring in a new world order. India set up a chain of national laboratories for basic and applied research.
One of the biggest things that we have done since independence is the development of magnificent national laboratories all over India, which are likely to be the very basis of India's progress in the future. Science alone can solve the problem of hunger and poverty, of insanitation and illiteracy, of superstition and deadening custom and tradition, of vast resources running to waste, of a rich country inhabited by starving people.
The Tata Institute of Fundamental Research was given official patronage. Dr. Homi Bhabha, the famous nuclear scientist, was invited to head the Indian Atomic Energy Commission. For the training of modern engineers and scientists, 5 institutes of technology were established with international collaboration.
What builds a nation is creative, inventive, and vital activity. And that activity can be encouraged only by higher education.
At the Nasik Congress of 1950, Purushottam Das Tandon was elected the president with the support of communal elements in the party. Nehru said,
"Communalism has invaded the mind and hearts of those who were pillars of the Congress in the past."
Jawaharlal lashed out at his critics.
डेमोक्रेसी के माने आप समझ लो, मैं नहीं मानता इस डेमोक्रेसी को। हाँ, डेमोक्रेसी क्या कर सकती है? डेमोक्रेसी का हक है, हर वक्त हक है, इस समय हक है कि मुझे हुक्म दे, आप हुक्म दे, निकलो तुम यहाँ से, मैं चला जाऊंगा, आपको हक है। मैं अलग जाके व्यक्तिगत रूप से अपना काम करूंगा, आपको हक है मुझसे कहिए कि तुम गलत काम करते हो, प्रधानमंत्री नहीं रह सकते, मैं फौरन निकल जाऊंगा। लेकिन जब तक आप मुझे प्रधानमंत्री रखें, मुझे हक है कि मैं जहां तक मुझे समझ में आता है उस काम को करूं उस ढंग से।
Jawaharlal led the country to the first ever general election on the basis of universal adult franchise. He asked the chief ministers to put up more women and backward classes candidates. His advice to the electorate was,
"On the power of your vote, the government will be formed. Therefore, vote only for those who are honest, hard-working, and will serve your cause the best."
According to him,
the general elections were, by and large, a leap in the dark. Adult franchise has been a success.
We had
these general elections, which were remarkable on a tremendous scale, and we've built up a good democratic structure. What troubles us chiefly is the economic side. I believe we have made progress. I should like the progress to be much faster.
A planning commission was set up with the Prime Minister as the chairman.
The planning commission would consider de novo the economic conditions of the country, draw up new plans for development, fix priorities and the stages of the plan. We have to work with our hands and march forward on our feet. We have to use our brains and our strength to solve all our problems.
Suddenly, India was on the move. The whole country was astir with a sense of purpose, a sense of urgency. Community development and agriculture received the high priority.
इंडस्ट्री बढ़ानी है, कारखाने बढ़ाने, सब बातें करनी है, लेकिन आखिर में इस खेत का आर्थिक संगठन कहिए, सामाजिक संगठन कहिए, जो कुछ है वो हिंदुस्तान की जमीन पर है। यानी खेती में, जमीन में, एग्रीकल्चर में, और इसके और जो 7 पहलू हैं, उसको पहला हमारा काम है उसको मजबूत करना। उसके ऊपर हम जो चाहे बना सकते हैं।